Hello and welcome back to Minnie and More. So this is my first DIY in a while. As you might know that I moved house and my circumstances has changed and I just haven't been able to get a video published. But I've made this video today. It's my first one in a while, like I say. But this will be each Friday. I'll be doing a DIY on my YouTube channel from now on. So I'm gonna go with a nautical theme or certainly a beach theme today, and I'm gonna make some tags. So these tags could be used for gifts, or you could just hang them as decoration, or you could hang them on a string so that they would be like bunting but in a tag shape instead of your traditional bunting kind of triangle. So I used a template just to get these all the same, and I just cut them out of cardboard. So I've made these fairly large, these tags, just because I think I'm only doing 3, so I didn't want to do them too small. And then I took out some clothes. Now these are clothes from the children. This stripy shirt was Robbie's. These shorts were Minnie's. This is just a shirt I bought from the shop just because it had a nice fine detail like these, which I thought went best with what I had in mind. So what I've done is I just cut out what I needed from one from each piece of fabric, and then just cut it out with my sharp scissors, and then I just glued each one on to the card. Now I like to, when I make these tags, as you might already know if you've already got some, I like to leave the cardboard side shown on one side. I don't wrap the whole thing in material, just so that you could write on it if you want to give it as a gift card to somebody, and I just think it's kind of gives it a bit more use if you like. So then I just used this glue. Now this is just, it's a bit stronger than PVA, so less watery, which I thought would be better, quicker drying, and it would make the fabric maybe less wrinkly. So this seemed to work quite well. Although I did later use a sponge to kind of even out the glue on these, just so that it didn't dry like patchy. Because this material, especially this red stripy one, is quite thin and stretchy, so I had to be quite careful here with this one. And then I let these dry. Actually, they were drying probably for a couple of days, but obviously overnight would have been fine. So these tags did take quite a while to make, but I really felt like doing a DIY. That took patience because I like clotting on and fiddling on. I know this is just one set that I've made here, but I am going to be making them, not actually to sell in my shop, but to give to any new patrons that join up. So at the end of the video I'll tell you a bit more about that. My patrons that I already have will know what I'm talking about. It's just a way of supporting my channel from as little as $1 a month. But there'll be more details, like I say, down below in the description box or the read more box. I think it might actually say read more to click on to read more. But like I say, I will be leaving information down there on how you can get your a set of these. I mean, you could even give them as a gift. You know, the set of these look quite nice, especially when they're strung together like bunting. So it might make a nice little gift. But I can see them being hung on my bathroom window. Just the 3 tags just hanging, just draped down slightly across my window. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet because I haven't sorted the bathroom out yet because we're still living out of boxes. But yeah, I think they would look nice at a little window. So I've just measured roughly across by, I think the end of the tag was 4 centimeters wide at the narrowest part. So then I just measured 2 centimeters across just to make sure that I put the hole in the right place. I ended up just having to hold the punch there with some material because I'd just put some hand cream on my hands, and you can't do anything with metal when you've got hand cream on your hands. So I just used a tea towel or something. It just gives you more grip. So next, now that I've done my 3 tags and trimmed them to shape, then I've just got some felt. I had bought this originally to do my Christmas robins, but I can get some more. So I've just cut some thin, probably about as thin as I could comfortably cut, keeping it, in a straight line. Just some little bits of felt. Now the felt, I'm going to use the felt to look like wood. So for my first tag on my dotty tag, I'm just going to do a little deck chair. So I just cut a few lengths and supports and played around with this a little bit just to see where I thought things would go before I glued them on. So for my next tag, I'm going to make a little bucket and spade. So I just took a piece of card and then I glued on some of the dotty material. Just glued it on. And I've tried to use a bit of of just each of the three colours, and then obviously the kind of neutral colours, the extra colour I've kind of added in. So I've just tried to like balance out the colours between these three tags, so it just worked right. So I just glued that little bit card onto the material, and then I just used the price tag. I'm all for recycling. And then I just penciled on the shape of a bucket. Now I only let this dry probably for a few minutes because this glue is pretty good. I think it must be like a fabric glue as well. And then I just cut out the shape of the bucket. So I'm going to be making the spade out of the beige fabric, so I suppose it could be like a little wooden spade. I just felt like that was the best colour for the spade that I make next. So this is a fiddly project, but it's been a fun little fiddly project to do. Now, depending on how many more patrons or how many people might sign up to support my channel, I'm going to be sitting making these tags for a little while, but I'm organised and I'm kind of prepared to do that, obviously, because I'm so grateful for any support I get for my channel. So yeah, a lot of fiddly fun. So then I glued on like a tiny little bit white cord. So I just cut in like a little, what's the word? Basically, I was trying to make like half a handle, so it just looked like it was just coming out from the side of the bucket, and then kind of disappearing around onto the left side. I just wrapped it around a little bit, so it just looks a little bit like a handle. And then I thought what I'd do was be really clever here and use a blue pen to put a little dot at the top of that little handle, so it looks like it's kind of just hooked onto the blue bucket. So put a little dot there with my Sharpie pen. So I'm not even sure how long this project took to take, because I've left the main tags overnight to dry, but I mean a good few hours I would say. But you know me, I like me fiddly little projects. It's so hard to write a blog sometimes, to blog about these things on my website, because it takes so long when there's so much detail. Sorry if you can hear the road noise. We are living in the town now, so it is not as quiet as the farmhouse. So I just glued on a little bit of the felt there in the bucket, just to make it look like a little bit sand sitting in the bucket. And then I just used a pen to draw on a spade onto the felt fabric. And then I just trimmed that out. I did try to use pencil at first, but it was just no good. It needed to be something more, well, you couldn't see the pen. You couldn't see the pencil or the pen I tried. So I ended up just using this Sharpie pen. So it's not a very accurate line, but obviously this is the back. So when I cut it out, you'll not see the pen. It's a really noisy bird flying past the house at the minute. I don't think you'll be able to hear that. So that's my little bucket with a little bit of sand in, the handle, and that's my little spade. I don't think I've actually made like a beachy. I know I've made one slightly nautical DIY before, but I'm quite enjoying making this. It reminds me of back home, South Shields, because it was right on the beach. And just before we moved, we were literally just a stone's throw from the beach. So it just reminds me of the seaside. So I've just glued that on, my little bucket and spade. So I've got my deck chair, my bucket and spade. What's missing? A beach hut. Never actually been in a beach hut, ever. I think they're such a cute little thing. So I just cut a piece of card out. And then I'm going with the red stripy fabric. But I'm going to put it going in downwards direction, because I know my bucket and spade tag is on the horizontal lines of the stripy fabric in the red. So I'm going to do this the opposite way. I just try to like add little touches like that, just to kind of make things a bit, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. I just think it makes things a bit more unique when you put like a lot of thought into it. So as usual, I totally made this up as I went along. And I kept thinking, the more fiddly I make this, the longer it's going to take if I have to make any more. But I don't mind. So then once I'd made the little main body of the hut, I cut a couple of pieces of the felt as the roof. Then I realised I'd really have to cut these corners off, otherwise it just wouldn't work. So I just snipped these off. I didn't measure them. If you're going to try making this, don't worry too much about measuring, because you've got your little roof to kind of cover over, just to kind of straighten it out. Obviously if you cut it too wrong, you wouldn't be able to just cover it over then. So I just put my two little bits of roof on there, and I just trimmed down to get the angle, just so that these two pieces of felt would look like they were kind of like equally kind of joining at the top. There's probably a technical joiner name for that, I don't know. It's glued on the main body, or the hut I should say, the beach hut. And then just glued on the roof. Can't speak. And then what I've done is this side bit here where it's kind of, I just felt like it needed to be cut across. Just sometimes things just don't look right, so I just cut it across, just so it just seemed to look at a better shape, as opposed to just leaving it with the other angle off, just cutting it square. So then I put another piece on the other side. So this is quite a long video, so well done if you're still watching it. I just I thought once we'd moved, we would have a lot better internet. Now I think it is a lot better, but the problem I'm probably having is my computer. It's quite an old computer, and I'm still using Movie Maker. So maybe that's something I need to think about. Maybe it's changing the iMovie, and maybe it's upgrading my computer in the future. But I've managed. I'll still be able to do my videos. It's just I thought I wouldn't have any problems uploading, and just kind of some of the old issues I used to have. So next here, I've just put a little piece of the dotty fabric onto a little piece of card to be the door. I'll just pop that right in the middle of the beach hut. Just glue that on. At this point, I felt like there was something missing, so then I just cut out a tiny little, teeny weeny little flag out of the stripy material. Now I think I've missed this bit out of the video, but I've already glued a tiny little piece of felt on top of the beach hut to act as like a little post. I was going to use a cocktail stick, but I didn't really want to use bring anything new into this. I just I think this works okay. I just felt like it needed something, so I've just glued that tiny little flag on, and I think that works quite well. So I feel like it looks quite American because it's like red, white and blue. So on my lovely desk that I managed to bring to the new house, my kind of scaffold board desk, which I've cut down, I've just put these on here. So I've got this lovely twine in the blue and white. So what I'm going to do for now with these tags is, well, first of all, I'm just going to tie a little bit of this twine around each one. So I'm just putting a length, like looping it over, pushing the loop through and then pulling it back on itself, just so that I can tie them onto the string, and then they hang better than just trying to thread them on and tie them onto it directly. And then you can just move them along and get them exactly where you want them. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this Friday's DIY. If you want me to pop this set of tags in the post to you, just click on the read more or show more tag down below under the video, and check out my Patron page and find out how you can get a set of this actual very set sent out to you in the post, and then I'll quite happily make you something every month if you support my page, depending on tier. So just check out those details down below, and I'm going to pop these, pack these up now, ready for the next person that supports my page. So thank you again for watching, and thank you for everybody who supports my page, from basically people who send me lovely comments right through to the people who support me on Patreon. So thank you so much, and have a fantastic weekend, and I will definitely be back with another DIY on Friday. Bye bye for now. I'll just squeeze in, Minnie is having a sleepover at her human daddy's house this weekend, so you'll see her on the next video. Bye.